Welcome back to another episode of We Talk Fit
with Mish and Dean.
Where do you want to start with it? What do you want to do?
Cool.
You're in charge, mate.
So today I wanted to have a little bit of a chat about motivation and why it's bullshit, basically, and what actually keeps people going and how it keeps people going and how motivation is fleeting a lot of the time. So what's your take on people relying on motivation?
Where do I start with that one? Motivation itself isn't bullshit, I don't think. Obviously, we all know that sometimes we feel really motivated, sometimes we don't. So there's clearly something.
Yeah.
Call it motivation.
Yeah.
Would I rely on it? No. I'd use it.
Yeah.
I'd definitely use it.
Use it to your advantage the best you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But would I rely on it? Probably not. So, like my clients will know all this and stuff, but I pride myself on being really organized.
Yeah.
Through the jobs I've done previously and stuff, I pride myself on having my calendar super organized and like things planned out through my day. And we incorporate some of those habits with clients. Leanne sees my calendar so that we can stay like organized together. And anyway, the reason I'm going at that is it's my calendar being organized doesn't mean that something's going to go wrong. Not going to go wrong, or the wheels might fall off on something, or
yeah.
But the calendar being organized gives you that safety net.
Yeah.
So that if something goes astray, we can kind of deal with that thing because we know other things are more or less looked after.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at motivation from our side of the world with fitness and commitment to the gym and stuff, I would prefer we rely on structure.
Yeah.
Whether it be a training program or a commitment you've made to a loved one, right? I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, or whatever that commitment structure might be. Let's rely on that in the background.
Yeah.
Because the motivation is going to ebb and flow.
Yeah.
We love training. I love training. Like I've obviously had something going on with my leg this week, so I haven't been training an awful lot. And even I get fed up when I can't, or I can, but haven't done what I would like to do. So that motivation is going to ebb and flow. And instead of only pouncing on it when it's good, we need to have something in the background so that when it's not there, we're still working towards whatever the goal might be.
Yeah. You have that structure, you have that habit already set in place. Yeah. You've seen my calendar, mine's the same. So if it's not in there, like generally things can fall off because it's not in a habit. I haven't created a nice sort of structure for my week. So I set my self up for all my clients are in the morning. I've got a train directly after that, and then it's home, lunch, and then straight off to uni.
Yeah.
And I have that structure in place because if I don't train at that certain time that I need, my motivation's not always there, but it's creating that habit. I want to get a little bit stronger. I want to be able to work on certain goals that I have. And if I don't have that structure in place, then it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
because it is busy. But if you create that habit, it's there, and then it makes you sort of stick with it.
I mean, there's a bigger piece talking about like creating habits and how much, when you talk about how many times you need to do something before it becomes a habit and things, and it does differ from person to person. But when you we chat all the time in here with people. I'm a great believer in momentum. I think you were here yesterday when I was talking to someone about it.
Yesterday,
if someone's made a commitment to walk into the gym or, I don't know, suddenly really take accountability for their health. Right, I'm going to follow a program and I'm going to work towards this goal and then see where that can lead me for the next thing. That you've had some motivation.
Yeah.
You've acted on it by talking about it or coming into the gym or what have you. Keep that ball rolling.
Yeah.
Rather than, okay, I'm motivated today, I'm going to go to the gym today. Don't look at it that way because tomorrow you might not be motivated. that's kind of where I get a little bit hung up on it. I don't think motivation itself is bullshit. It's just how we choose to
utilize that
use it, or like we've got it written on the wall there, like action isn't just the result of motivation, it's also the cause of it. So you can kind of flip the two things on their head. Quite often people go, right, I'm motivated, so I'll act. But if you're actually not feeling motivated, but you've got some sort of accountability or structure, you can act and become motivated.
That's
So that's why
that's like
we
when
put it up
people
there,
step into a gym and they're training, and they're not actually motivated to go to the gym, but they act on it. They go into the gym, they don't feel like training, they start, they do 2 or 3 sets, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, yep, and then they get into it.
And there's days like what I was saying, we love training, but there's days when you're like just not really feeling, and it might even be that you've been pushing so well with your training that you might be at the point where you're probably ready for a deload, but you then know that your numbers aren't going to be as good that day, and that sort of decreases motivation a bit because you're so used to these good rewards. But it's just as important to get that session in, even if it is a deload or whatever it might be, wherever you are in your program. But we get fed up with some days. Like, oh, I have to train today, and then that's when I give you wrong for using the words like have to or try or so that's kind of how I look at it. And then you can take that towards like programming and stuff with clients, like how many people do we see come in that like procrastinate for
half an hour?
Well, yeah, like it might be just a wander around and you can sort of see people figuring out, oh, what do I do today, sort of thing, or longer, like half an hour. And that's where it's so important to, like, even if it's like it's got lots of flaws, but it does have its benefits. Even things like ChatGPT and stuff now, like it'll whip you a training program up in 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Now, I'm not suggesting that it's going to be the best structured program specifically to you, but if it's something, at least you're going to kind of
starting
take some of the guesswork. I don't think we should be scared of ChatGPT as trainers. I think it can be a good tool. People have asked me what I think about ChatGPT, like, like I've put this in and asked for this based on what my goals are, and it's come up with this program. Do you think it's any good? I'm like, well, the fact that you're asking me in person, so it's not foolproof.
No, it's not, and it's not necessarily going to be perfect, but like you say, it gives you a starting point for those for that, and it gives you that tiny bit of structure when you step into the gym. You're getting your first exercise done because that's what it's set out
for you.
And then if it's something that you can't do, then you go, okay, well, I'll move on to the next one that it's given me. But
it's just
I think it has a place. But
it's just that procrastination that we see from people to try and loop back. Is take the guesswork out of it, because that's also the longer you spend like thinking about what you might do or what you should do or what you have to do or all these thought processes, that's all depleting that motivation that you walked in the door with.
You want to take as much of that decision making out as possible. So you come into you're going to the gym at a certain time, you know what your training program is for that day, and then that's you then don't have 5 extra decisions to make, because you're not having to make a decision on what exercise you're going to do, what muscle group you're training for. You know that that's on that day, chest on this day, back on that day, whatever. You come in, you get it done, and you're not wandering around aimlessly like what we see a lot of people do.
I think what I maybe once upon a time would have called motivation, like personally with my training, is probably more like just, whether you want to call it commitment, maybe now. And then there are days when I feel very motivated. Does that make sense? So what I thought was like, so let's say my baseline was here and I trained regularly and took accountability and took action, and then my baseline's here and I trained 4 days a week, 5 days a week, and I felt like I had to be motivated to be here. Now I'm just there all the time.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily have to feel really motivated to stay there.
No, I get you. Yeah.
On the days I feel really motivated is when I'm like trying to crush my strength block that I've just come for. I'm supposed to be in at the minute with PBs on deadlifts and squats and things like that. So it's raising that baseline
each time. Yeah.
And lots of cliche terms around like discipline and commitment, all of those sorts of things, and you can kind of interpret them all how you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Discipline's
And
a little bit different.
everyone's slightly different too with how they interpret it, like you say. So someone's discipline might be not actually stepping into a gym, it might just be going for a walk, trying to be motivated to get for a walk. And like you say, once you you make that step, you're like, right, I'm going to go into a gym and I'm going to see someone, I'm going to sign up, and you want to keep that ball moving. For someone, it might not be coming into a gym. It might actually just try and keep the ball moving on. I'm going to go for a walk around the block.
Like perfect. Like downloading that free app on your phone that tracks your steps and go, right, I've made a commitment to myself, or like I say, a loved ones. The reason I keep saying things like that is because if someone else knows about it,
you're more likely
it's way more likely to happen, because we're all, sometimes our worst enemies with goals and achieving targets and things.
Mm-hmm. That's actually
download a free app, track your steps, do 10,000 steps a day, 4 times a week, or whatever the structure might be.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be in a gym environment.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the questions that I always ask a lot of my clients is, what sort of support do you have at home?
Yeah.
This is your goal. This is what you want to achieve. This is the time frame you want to achieve it in. How much support have you got at home to help you get to that goal? And you always find that a lot of people that have the support at home tend to reach their goals quicker, easier, less setbacks than those who don't have that support.
Yeah, it's tough. I've got some really...
So when they don't have the motivation, they've got a partner at home, or they might have made that commitment to their children to be in a healthier position. So they've got no motivation, but they're going, all right, cool, I'm going to go and do that because I want to be able to go and kick the footy with my kids, play netball with my kids.
Yeah, I think it is really important that there's some form of support there. And obviously, not everybody's lucky enough to have a spouse or a partner that's pushing them in the right direction. And sometimes it can be the opposite, which is obviously hard to hear.
Yeah.
That's the down. And I do feel quite strongly about that, because, if someone's trying to take action on their health or well-being, or there's no getting away from the fact that they're going to be in a better place for their family and that specific loved one if they've taken time to look after themselves.
Yeah.
We're not talking about sort of appearance things here. We're actually talking about like the health side of it.
Yeah. Mental health and everything like that as well.
The mental health, and then, depending on what the goals are, if it's a weight loss journey or something, then that's better for that family, not just that individual.
Yeah.
So it's, like, whether it's easy for me to say coming from like a really supportive relationship or not, I'm not sure. But I do think that we should be, if people are going to take action on this, everybody around that person should be helping to push in that direction.
Rally around them and help them. Yeah.
How many like women and mums in particular are obviously so time poor because they're so busy.
Yeah.
I know the same with Leanne at home and stuff. She's just got so much to do all the time, and it's like I have to really work hard to push her to try and make some time for herself in the gym. But I know how much benefit she'll get from that.
Yeah.
And if you've got people saying, "Oh, how do you, do you never feel bad?" I'm not using Leanne now as an example, but people might say, "Oh, do you not feel bad taking an hour away from your kids or an hour away from your husband or wife or to be in the gym on your own?" As if it's a selfish endeavor.
Yeah.
But it's actually...
It's not selfish. I don't look at that as selfish at all, because if you're not in good health, if you're not in a good frame of mind, your cup is empty. You can't actually help to fill your children's cups.
Yeah.
So you need to be in a really good space. And if you need that hour away to recharge yourself, whether that's gone for a walk, gone for a swim, coming in the gym, playing netball, playing hockey, football, whatever it is, if you need that time away to recharge yourself, go and do it, and then you will show up better for everyone else in your life.
Yeah. It can be all of the positive things you just chatted about, like taking you, filling your cup back. It was a perfect example, by the way, but it could be the opposite. It could be a deload from the day you've had.
Yeah.
Or the day you had previously.
Yeah.
You might have had a horrendous day at work the day before, and you're going to go, no, I'm going to the gym tomorrow morning. I'm going to start my day. I'm going to own my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just that mindset shift as well. Like you say, you're going to be then more available.
Yeah.
For the people around you.
Yeah.
So when someone says, do you not feel selfish taking the time to do these things? Like the best response to that is actually no. If I don't get that hour in and stuff, I am a to people. Well, it's right though,
yeah.
I'm sort of talking about
your temper might, or you're not your temper necessarily, but
it could be though.
It could be. You might have patience with your kids or your wife or your husband, and your patience is up here when you're really good. But if you don't take that time out, your patience might be down here, and something that not taking shoes off before you come inside or whatever it might be, putting your washing in the basket or something little that you usually go, oh, can you please put your washing in the basket? Please take your shoes off.
Yeah.
I've told you, go. You need to have that time off to just unwind and relax, and then you don't have those emotional spats, I suppose.
I think it's and then you go down the line of like training. If you're training like intensely, relevant to where you are, like it's also teaching you to make yourself uncomfortable for a set period of time and then recover from it. And it's like that is training your brain all the time to do that. So, it might not work in day 1 or day 2 or whatever. It's no set amount of time, but you might encounter a difficult decision or a difficult scenario or a
situation or something.
Someone might not have picked their shit up off the floor. But you never know. You might just be better prepared to deal with that instance.
Yeah.
Through training. Like, it's funny how that whole gym environment can train the brain as much as the body. Yeah. So that's like it sort of links into the motivation piece. Is like accountability and structure is like the scaffold, I think, around it to support it, because the motivation is going to be there and not there and there and not there. So, that's why we brought in like the people around you with the structure side of stuff. Yeah. They're just as important.
Yeah, I agree.
And their motivation or your motivation is going to ebb and flow. So you might find that your partner goes, you know what, I'm so behind such and such because they're doing all this. And then a week later, they're like, for God's sake, you have to go again. We've got this on.
Yeah.
So that's going to, because everything's always up and down.
Yeah.
So try and just, like you said, habits, routine, whatever word you want to put behind it all. Try and build that so that's a little bit more of a steady environment.
Yeah. Keep it as steady as you can. So then but also got to learn with your structure and everything like that to be flexible. So like you say, if something does come up, you've got to be able to be flexible about it, and don't beat yourself up if you've created that habit, you've created the motivation, you've created something to be able to go to the gym or go for a walk, but kids get sick. You can't beat yourself up when things like that happen.
Injuries
happen. Like what's going on with your leg now. You can't beat yourself up with that either.
Yeah.
So it's being just aware of being careful with how you talk to yourself too.
Yeah. Like we've chatted a bit about how I like to be with people, and I err on the side of like more supportive than anything else. But I do want to put like a disclaimer under it that you do get some people that will use being good to myself as like an out as well.
How do you
So-
mean? Yeah, explain.
As an excuse.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm not feeling it today, or I've got something going on here, or something's not quite right. So I'm going to have a day off.
You did chest yesterday. You know, you can't do legs
Yeah.
at the moment. You
Literally,
physically cannot.
This week's training has looked like a 15-year-old boy. It's like, I'm going to do some arms, I'm going to do some shoulders, and I'm going to do some chests. Yeah. It's been the most predictable workouts in the world, but I haven't just gone, and I'm getting very frustrated.
Yeah.
Probably evident. Because I love, especially my block at the minute, it's supposed to be crushing leg sessions, and I don't want to use the word can't, but shouldn't, because we've got
You
something
shouldn't.
going
You'll
on.
end up injuring yourself more.
But it's super, super frustration, and I can choose to let it derail me, and I can go and smash a load of junk food tonight, or I can still try and do what I can do that really well, pick something else to win at, like maybe it's some food choices for a couple of days or whatever.
Yeah.
Try and get some wins somewhere else to reinforce that good behavior.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, well, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.